Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, we can find your way back. Your way back, we can find your way. Yeah, take a look around you, we can find your way back. Way back, we can find your way. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, find your way back. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, find your way back. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice, pay that. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, own it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth, and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think with your head, stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical. Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, find your way back. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Yeah, talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the rule. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way back. Find your way back, nigga, find your way back. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, somewhat between who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. This an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on this throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. Saw your main girl in the private section, yeah.
Yeah. Ay. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons, making a list like I'm Steven. This ain't the Garden of Eden, playing this game, it's not even. I come with soldiers and legions, that is my name that you speaking. All of y'all live for the weekend, I don't know what you believe in. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. She rocking the two-piece and look like a snack. Stay out of trouble, but I got a new scheme. I'm sipping on wine while they sipping on Axe. I done told y'all if I see it, I cop it. You see what we rocking, we dripping all black. You being off, you seen this deposit. We brought a few bags and there's more in the back. I got riches storing up in heaven. I'm a big gorilla, I got ape aggression. Young and jaded like an adolescent. I'm slightly faded like an evanescent. Brand new villa up on the East Coast. You better come through because we stay progressing. If you roll with us, you better unpack before God teaches you an eternal lesson. Roll with me, you gonna learn something. Roll with me, you gonna earn some. We in the forest like we Fern Gully. If it's feeling off, I discern some. Clean hearts, but we stay muddy. Too smart, but we stay study. Stank face, cause we too ugly. All these jokers think they too funny. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack.
Check, check, 1, 2, ayy. Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it. Yeah. Ayy, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swolio put nuts on they chin. Like Everest and K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's all blue, but the product is green. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents. Cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swolio put nuts on they chin. Like Everest and K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's all blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save the loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just win. Papa Swolio put nuts on their chin. Like Everson K2 get mountains of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is green.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, Beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole. I'm your host, Papa Swolio. Today's episode is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexing on all you Beaches. Welcome to 3332. How we doing? We're live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole, and of course, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We are coming to you live, and it is a FEF cast episode. Now, let's get people up to speed. What does FEF mean to you, and how did you celebrate FEF today and this week? This is something you could do every single day. Focus on your community. Pillar number 1. Time to block out all the noise, time to surround yourself with better people, time to go through your phone contacts list. It's time to do some community homework. Hashtag FEF, drop it in the comments down below. Today, to win today's Swole card, it's Fuck'em Friday. Block out all the noise. Let's get after it. We got some great Swole fam, post fam. It's time.
Just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside.
First one today is from Ryan. And Ryan is asking us a question. This is from the app, and Ryan says, can someone help me troubleshoot my diet? I've gained muscle and also lost fat at the same time, which is great, but having some digestive issues. I eat quality farm eggs, usually 6 in the morning, raw honey, usually strawberries with it before a workout, and have wood caught, I'm assuming wild caught salmon, unless you're catching it with wood, and grass-fed and finished ground beef or sardines instead of salmon in a hurry. That's about it. I take hydration, electrolytes, and creatine and collagen in my herbal teas. That's about it. I'm having soft stools, and sometimes I feel digestion zaps my energy. Do I need more fiber? I feel my body is having a hard time with all the fat, even though it's mostly omega-3s. I was thinking maybe need some more fruit. I avoid grain and starches like the plague because ever since I removed them from my diet, I'm less bloated and leaned out. I'm convinced they make you fat. Any input, fam? So, well, thanks for sharing. We usually don't do like whole individual diet breakdowns, and it definitely isn't enough information here to really give you some feedback, but it sounds like troubleshooting your diet is going to come down to doing another elimination, but in sequence, removing certain things, adding certain things one at a time, and just observing. So what's really the problem here? What's the problem here? You're having some digestive issues. We don't know how long you've been doing this. We don't know what you're coming from. You've said you've gained muscle and also lost some fat. How are you measuring that? How do you know for sure? And what's the method of your measurement? So, not saying that's not the case, but you never know. Do you just feel good? Are you going based off strength? Are you going based off calipers, or you're stepping on a scale? That's important to understand. So it sounds like you're not doing, it sounds like you're low carb. Let me just go through this briefly. You have some honey and strawberries. What I can maybe suggest, even just without going through all of this, I don't want to sit here, I have to write it down. You know, there's a lot more depth that has to go into this. You said maybe need some more fruit. It sounds like you probably need some more carbohydrates. So if you are training, my recommendation is to keep the carbohydrates around your training. And on days where you're not training, keep your carbs later on in the day. That's a general good rule. If you're on a recovery day and you're not training, then you can kind of have some carbs in the evening and you can stick to more protein and fat. And then on days where you're training, it's best to train in the morning. The human body is just better off training earlier in the day, especially in the morning or as early as you can. It's just better. You have more, your hormones are better, your energy is higher. It's a great way to start your day. I think most people that lift first thing in the morning, or at least top priority and getting it done earlier in the day, will, I'm not saying they'll report better progress, but I just think better overall mood. And it's just a great way to go into a day is training first. So keeping your carbs more around when you're training rather than later on in the day. So carbs around your strength training, and then on days where you're not training, some carbs later on in the day can also help you sleep and things of that nature. Just looking through a couple other things, electrolytes, creatine, and collagen. Some of the things, simple carbs around when you work out. Some of the things that I see here, just in general, I don't know how long you've been doing this. If you go out of nowhere and start taking a lot of collagen, it can give you the poops. You know, glycine, magnesium, electrolytes. If you just go from not taking these things and then just going and taking all this stuff at once, or in the short term, a lot of people report, and a lot of people have done this when they go carnivore or any kind of switch to their diets or they add more fats. You have a little bit of indigestion maybe, or you have some diarrhea or loose stools temporarily, but that's usually an adjustment period. And then you have to kind of tweak things as you go through. So that would be my general recommendation. It sounds like you need perhaps some more carbohydrates. Remember, carbohydrates also bring water into the body, so that can help. I just don't know the context as to how long you've been doing this and the quantity of these things, but it sounds like you're having a lot of protein and fat, so it's very normal to have low energy if you drop the carbs tremendously with strength training. You might have some benefits in the short term, but if you're not getting carbohydrates in, it's going to be very hard to perform at your best when it comes to strength training and building muscle, zapping glycogen stores and this kind of stuff. I didn't like keto. I didn't like carnivore for heavy strength training. I think it's great for an elimination diet, especially if you're only doing it. But, you know, if you're doing an elimination diet, doesn't mean you have to be low carb or zero carbohydrate. You're testing more specific foods and you're trying to really isolate, okay, what's my ground level? What's my base? Let me clean the closet, so to speak. Let me reset, go back to zero and test and reintroduce these foods after my body resensitizes and kind of narrow down what works best for me. Most people don't realize they can do that, and they think that anything that goes in their mouth goes in their mouth. So they just eat too much shit and they don't realize how much stuff that's garbage they're actually eating. So it sounds, aside from just having some raw honey and strawberries, it just sounds like you're having protein and fat. So it sounds like, honestly, you're probably just having, it sounds like almost like a keto crash or a low carb crash. And I don't know how long you've been doing this. So, you know, for a little bit of raw honey and strawberries is not enough carbohydrates for me. And I'm not saying you're me, but I'm not making it through. I don't like carb cycling, but I will adjust if I'm not on a training day. You don't have to be bulking, right? We've talked about this. Enough with the bulking, enough with the overeating. You want to eat sufficiently, but most people just get fat, and they call that building muscle. Now, it's hard to kind of toe that line if you're not really hyper paying attention to what you eat. So yeah, it's normal when you're putting on muscle and you're eating enough calories, at least maintenance or so, maybe a little bit more. Okay, you put on a little bit of body fat with the muscle. If you don't really care about it, you could always trim that down later if that's something that you care about, whether it's a little bit of fat here and there. If you're not getting on stage, most people are not like, oh, if you're not show ready, who cares if you're 13 or 14 or 12 or 12 and a half? You're not really going to notice a difference, and it's not really that important. The number doesn't matter as much as people being satisfied with how they look and perceiving progress. That's really what it's all about, is your perception of what you're doing. And that's why quantitatively, that's why looking at actual numbers is great, because you can see exactly what's happening and you can get out of your feelings. Instead of getting bummed out, you see, okay, well, I'm making slow progress. I'm making incremental progress. And things with nutrition, you're not going to know in one day. You kind of have to, like, for example, if you're really low on sugar and glycogen, you might have to refeed kind of thing, and get enough carbohydrates in. So you might want to add in, you said avoid grain and starches like the plague. Does that include sweet potatoes? Does that include white rice? I know those are starches and this, that, and the other, but what specifically are you avoiding based on what you were eating? Do you have issues with sweet potato? Do you have issues with white rice? There's other sources of carbohydrates, maybe more honey, maybe there's maple syrup, there's dates, there's other fruit. But I think most people would agree there's a difference. There's a difference between eating fruit, and of course there's different micronutrients and there's different compounds. But there's a difference between eating a bowl of fruit with meat or having just some fruit in addition to your proteins and fats versus having some sweet potato or some white rice. It's different. And personally, I don't mind that. I have some white rice, I have some sweet potatoes, not every day, but it works its way in and I feel fine when I eat it. And just in general, having more carbohydrates when you're strength training is important. So we'll move on, but there's a lot here. I think it's beneficial, but again, we don't know how long. That's normal if you're going more keto, kind of low carb, which is what it sounds like. And if you're trying to really make some progress, low carb is not, in my opinion, unless you're preparing for a show or something. If you're trying to build muscle, you need your carbohydrates. So just my thoughts on it. Anyone else want to add stuff? Drop in the comments. We got some good responses to, we're going to go through some posts in the app, and then we're going to get into some questions. So drop your questions, #AskPapaSwolio. We'll get to those in a second, and we'll open up the question portion. But we have some comments on some of the awesome content inside
What's
X.
in the box?
Ban says, and this is on Swolga Foundation from the 90-Day Dash, holy shit, Swolga is hard. I thought this would be easy. Was even thinking about skipping week 1. LOL. Yeah, no. I feel great though. This was an entire workout all in itself. And thank you for sharing, Ban. I appreciate it. And those of you that have done the 90-Day Dash program inside Swolenormous X, this is part of the initial phases, the initial days and weeks, primer week, where you really just do mobility and yoga, aka Swolga, for the first time, and you're doing total body awareness and you're doing a lot of things that are new. And this is why it seems if you're going from tons of volume and heavy strength training, you do the 90-Day Dash, you might be like, what is this stuff? It's probably shit you never did, which is great. We're going to fill in some gaps and we're going to expose some weaknesses and build some more respect for other types of movement that will collaborate and support you during heavy weight training. You know, when you're lifting weights, when you're training really hard, it's great. Tendons, ligaments, muscles, it's great. But you need some balance in there. You need to make sure that you are working different aspects of how your body functions. And that's what Swolga does. That's what the total body awareness does. It kind of activates, it works on your balance. It just works on kind of the things that you don't actually realize that you need. So it really, that's why it's called the foundation, and it builds you up for making more gains long-term and makes you more aware of your body and how to avoid injury and to catch weaknesses and weak points and cracks in your foundation before they grow. and how to address them. Good stuff. Brian says on the supine triceps extension, awesome tutorial, and the guy in the back gave me the biggest laugh. Yeah, so you're watching one of the old ones. Some of those old videos are hilarious when I was doing them in another gym. And sometimes the people in the background are doing the most ridiculous shit. Cody on Masterclass, objective results versus feelings. Cody says, it's very hard for me to get an exercise done every day because of my diabetes and high blood pressure. But I push myself to get it done and trying my hardest to beat this disease. As I lay down on my bed watching your videos and finding the motivation to get a workout in, fucking sucks, bro. Help me beat this disease, please. Well, I hear you. But the problem lies with finding the motivation. You don't find the motivation, you take action. So it's time to take action. It's time to get started. Now that's probably a throwback comment, but at the same time, because I'm not sure if Cody is still posting. Diana says, express yin for shoulders number 2 in the yoga classes. Diana says, this was heavenly. Every aspect is so well thought out. I'm so glad I dedicated time for this amazing session. Don't miss out on that express yin. Jen says on Express Evening Flow in the yoga studio, save to my favorites. This was amazing. So many great stretches and the little cracks and pops my body released felt so good. I'm super relaxed now and ready for bed. Thank you for this, Genevieve. And if you don't know, Genevieve is one of our instructors. Excellent classes and great comments. Anyway, join us over at swolenormousx.com. Download the Swolenormous app and get access to all that and more. Let's get into some questions. If you have live questions, drop in the comments down below. Hashtag
What's in the box?
Ask Papa Swolio. We'll take the first one. This is from Physio Inquest. Papa Swolio, what do you think about chiropractic? I don't partake, so I don't really have any thoughts. I've heard some good things. I've heard mostly neutral or not great. I think it depends on what the person does. Essentially, it's kind of a different direction for physical therapy, but just getting your back cracked and pulled and yanked, it might give you some temporary relief or feels good psychologically. But really what you need to work on is your muscles. You need to work on mobility. You need to work on full strength and flexibility training. You need to work on strength training. Get moving more. There's a lot of things that people can just do on their own, but some people swear by them. I think it depends on your experience and your perception of how the body works. So, but they're in business in many ways. So some people like them, but I've never done sessions. I've never done that. So I'm speaking from just what I've heard is that you have to buy, or usually you do, like, oh, I go 3 times a week or once a week, and you buy a package, and of course you do. And then you're getting cracked and readjusted every week. It's like, come on, man, readjusted? Just do some dead hangs and do some yoga and do some inversions and lateral bending. You'll be plenty adjusted. You're going to get your oil changed like you're a car. Okay. Tigilo, Papa Swolio, do you believe in a higher power? I guess it depends on how you phrase it, but yeah, absolutely. We ain't it. We ain't all that there is. I don't buy that. Even if you're considering the universe, like, do you believe in a higher power? Well, if the wind blows hard enough, it'll sweep you into space. Like if there's like a massive F9, tornado, like it'll just destroy everyone and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of higher powers out there. And we don't know jack shit. I am Pram, Papa Swolio. I go to the fucking gym, but how do I manage the nourishment? It's way harder. The nourishment? What do you mean, how do you manage the nourishment? Eating real food? I can't break down everything you need to eat in your diet, but I don't think it's harder. I think people make it hard. People make this shit harder than it is. You know, this is why when I come on the show, we do questions and I answer questions from members and we talk about member posts and we kind of just update the Swole fam. That's why that's why I like this as a daily show. We might cover news. We meet. People have a place to go and to kind of unplug from the madness, but we'll cover all sorts of shit. We'll laugh and we answer fitness questions. But that's why we do a mix, because I did a lot of topics and I've talked about a lot of things. This is episode 3,332. There's only so much fitness shit I can talk about. You know, most people are here for other reasons besides just the fitness. We're hanging out and we're using logic and common sense. We don't know what's going to happen, who's going to ask what. Maybe something's going on. We watch a funny video, we have a good time, and we answer questions. I mean, that's why I like the first one, this Wolfam post, where that was really detailed. Cool. We can get into specific questions. What am I going to talk about? Creatine every fucking day? I guess we do, but there's only so much you can talk about. There's only so much you can really discuss. So I'm just trying to explain. People make it more complicated. It's really not complicated. And if you do just even the most like rudimentary research, again, this is what I talked about the other day about giving a shit. If you give a shit, you'll find out. You'll figure it out. I didn't have all this. I don't know. I had a lot of information. I'm not going to say I didn't have all this information. I had the internet. Remember, I used to say I used to devour Flex magazine. I would just do what the bodybuilders did, just trying to get big. Guess what? It works because I was relentless in finding out the information and applying it over and over again obsessively until I figured out what worked and what worked best for me. And I tried so many different things. And I look back, and of course, I look back on, we talk about this all the time. If you don't look back at some of the stuff you used to do for training or anything in your life and think, man, I was fucking retarded. That was stupid. Why the hell did I do that? That was insane. If you're not looking back on that, then you're not training hard enough. I always talk about, I have so many, it used to be about beating the fucking shit out of myself. It used to be about how much could I take before I either had to leave in a body bag or, you know, it used to just be destroy myself. All right, I'm doing legs and I would just throw on 100, 225 pounds or 100, whatever it was, and just do walking lunges through like LA Fitness, Ronnie Coleman style. Just heavy fucking, remember like Cost of Redemption, Ronnie Coleman's lunging in the parking lot outside in Texas heat? I used to destroy myself. I used to not be able to walk for a week. Just sore. Way too much fatigue. Way too much. It's ridiculous. But you have to go through that. You have to push yourself. I mean, it's harder. It's way harder. How do I manage nourishment? Eat the food. Make the food. It's just habits. Why is it harder? Harder to eat? Smaller meals. Eat them more often. Well, how do you make so much food? You cook more things at one time. How do I cook more than one steak? Get a bigger pan. Get 2 pans. Get a big pan and then do it again. Do it twice or 3 times. You know, how do I cook all this chicken? Put it in the fucking oven. I don't know. Google it. Ask ChatGPT. How do I cook a tray of chicken in the oven? It'll give you a recipe in 0.4 seconds. Google. Just people don't want to actually do it. They're looking for how do I manage that? Oh, let me put an arm around your shoulder. Oh. Do you feel better now? Do you feel all warm and cuddly inside? That I said it's okay? Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. I understand how rough it is. Yeah. Oh, man. Whew, it's so hard. Let's sit here and cry about how hard it is. Or you do it. And everyone here can do it. Do it. Big 34.75 peanut butter on rice cake. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I don't like peanut butter. I don't go for peanut butter or almond butter. So I'm not a fan. I think a lot of people have issues with peanuts, especially because they're legumes. And I guess depends on the rice cake and how it's made. And I don't know. I don't like it. Do you want to just have stuff stuck to the fucking top of your mouth? No. In my opinion, why the fuck are you eating a peanut butter on a rice cake? What's the point? Seriously, what's the point? What's the point? Stop with the snacks. Why are people snacking? Why do you guys think people snack so much? I think it's compulsive. I think it's like an oral addiction. I think it's boredom. I think it's dehydration. What's with fucking snacks? Just eat and eat real food. Ooh, I need nutrition. I don't go to a fucking peanut butter on a goddamn rice cake. Let me cook a few eggs. Let me take some steak out of my cooler in my gym bag because I don't know. Like I don't understand. Why don't you just eat food? I don't look at that as, what's the application? Why? And people that say they get hungry, oh, I get really hungry, X, Y, and Z. So bring fucking food with you or eat more or get your nutrition in. Just saying. Everyone's always trying to have like, it's going to fill your stomach up, but not. In other words, why don't you eat something that's beneficial? Number 7, with some 83s and 3s in it. What's your favorite to-go food for protein and carbs? My favorite to-go food? I would just steak, eggs. Again, to-go food, what do you mean? What do you mean? Now, I think this is a good discussion, like the difference between people that... I'm not saying this guy doesn't get results. Like he looks jacked in his actual avatar. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a big dude. So, you get results. But the question, my favorite to-go food. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like I'll bring the food. It would be like steak or eggs. Like it would be the food that I would eat at home. I would make in advance. If we're going somewhere and like, oh, we're not going to have food, but we would make it first and then bring it with us. So that's my to-go food. It'd be the meal I would eat at home, just in a container. Or I wouldn't eat. I mean, maybe I'd have some fruit. Like if we're going somewhere, grab an apple or something on the way out, put a couple apples in just for, I don't know, some carbs during, I don't know. But I don't look at it as, it depends on the application. If we're going to be somewhere and walking around a lot, we'll make a certain food to bring with us. Maybe we'll make a pack of bacon and put it like, wrap it up so I can have some pieces of bacon when we're out and about, or make eggs in advance. We would make food or hard-boiled eggs and we can pop a few. If that's what you're talking about, it would be just food. And then the method in which I could move the food around. So maybe that's what you're asking. On the go. Maybe I have like a recipe, like meatballs or something like that. But if you have a cooler and you make your food in advance, you just put your food in containers, then you eat the food that you would at home, that you eat anyway. It's just the food you eat at home, just in a container with you. And I'm not saying I don't understand the question. I'm not trying to be difficult with the answer, but it's whatever food you need to have and then bring it with you. That's your to-go food. Your to-go food is the food you eat at home, taken with you. All right, Adam Thomas, 2214. Do you promote losing weight or just making gains? I promote fat loss or minimizing excessive fat storage and building muscle. Losing weight is a terrible, terrible phrase. It's a terrible phrase because people just take Ozempic and these kinds of things that destroy muscle too and break down muscle. So people lose weight on the scale and they look slender, but they're losing muscle mass. So I don't promote losing weight, but minimizing fat, because losing fat, you're not losing fat. You're not losing, it's not disappearing, but decreasing excessive fat, because we're all going to have fat when you are ripped. I mean, I'm not pointing myself, but I'm saying when you as an individual, let's say you are 11% body, I'm not 11% body fat, but let's say you're 12%, 15%. Like that's 15% of your mass is like, that's, you're going to have definition as a guy, as a female, especially like really ripped. But if you're 15 or 14 or 13, and as you get leaner, it's still 13% of your body is body fat. And of course, it's where it's stored. Is it around your visceral organs? Is it more subcutaneous? So there's different types of fat. So you're always going to have fat. But also being really, really low body fat is not comfortable to maintain for most people. To be shredded all the time. So in terms of promoting, I wouldn't say, I mean, what do I promote? What would you guys say I promote? I tell people to go to the fucking gym. So I'll answer questions and provide a lot of different resources. And of course, we have the app, we have merch, we have all these different things that we're doing. But it really depends, because some people ask questions about mountain climbing or grappling and this, that, and the other. Everyone has their own interests. People are going to have their own interests and things that they like to do. So I say your fitness and your training, it stop. So let's take this a different direction. I say don't look to your training as your entertainment, right? So not looking to your training as entertainment is different than training in a way that you enjoy. So treating your training as entertainment is like Zumba or one of these stupid like bungee cord classes, or you put on those moon boots and you bounce around. That's trying to go to a dance class and still get your fitness in. Like, that's stupid shit. But doing your training in a manner that you like executing it, enjoyment of your training, like, it's still going to be uncomfortable. You're going to push yourself. It's going to hurt, but you should be doing exercise as you enjoy, meaning you like doing that exercise. You look forward to doing it because it feels good. It feels good in your joints. You got a sick burn and a pump, and wow, I saw results from doing it. And I really like that. It's easy on this machine. I can set it up quickly. It's always open at my gym. Those are the things that you should be gravitating towards, because you're going to look forward to doing it. If you need to do an exercise and you go to a gym, and some gyms are ridiculous. They have 1 squat rack or 2 squat racks. So you go to the gym, and if it's leg day, you might not have anxiety, but I hope they have the squat rack open. If not, what the fuck, I'm going to do this. And you go there and there's like 4 people standing around it. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So that brings stress to your training. You might like barbell squats. So you need to go to a different gym, go at a different time when it's open, or get a home gym where you can have a squat rack and just do squats at home on a certain day, if that's like really important to you. Or you change your protocol where, oh, I love this leg press machine over here and it's always open at the gym. And then you don't have to really worry about it as much. It's easier to set up. You don't have to wait. You don't have to rearrange your program. You planned it one way and then you can't do it. So this is why when I talk about your programming, we're just going to go off on different tangents right now because I feel like it. But this is why I say have different training blocks if you have to go to a gym, because you have to have other options, like have an A and a B and maybe even a C option. So sometimes for my training, if I'm writing down my workout in advance, sometimes if I'm doing a push day or an upper day or whatever it is, and I'm writing it out before I start doing it, I might think, I'm not sure if I feel like doing hack squats or like leg extensions. So I'll write leg extensions, and then I have like what I did the last time I did leg extensions and hack squat. And then when I get to that, I see what I feel like. Sometimes I get there, I'm like, I'm dragging. It's so hot. I don't feel like doing hack squats today. So I just like put a circle around leg extensions and I do that. So I give myself an option to pivot in the moment if I want to, but I usually keep it within certain exercises. That way they're getting more attention. So I'll have certain exercises in my rotation, and then sometimes I'll do them consecutive sessions in a row. Sometimes I'll alternate 2 different back exercises. Sometimes I'll stick to the same back exercises for a few weeks in a row and only do those, and then I'll mix it up. So it's good to have certain things you can swap out, like puzzle pieces, like, Legos. You can just change it out. And I forget why I started talking about that, but still good advice. I forget why we were talking about, do you promote losing weight? And I talked about what we promote. And I mean, there's so many different ways to do things. There's so many different ways to do things. Take a moment, last chance for questions or topics, or if you guys want to follow up. But we talk a lot about building muscle because it's very important. Whether you're thin or you're obese, you need to build more muscle mass. It's going to be great for your hormones and your insulin sensitivity and X, Y, and Z, bone density and mental health and longevity. So you can build muscle with a wide range of volume. I mean, how many different times do we talk about training splits? How many times do we talk about rep ranges? And you've heard, based on all the studies and people's experiences, it's just around 5 to 30 repetitions to build muscle. It's like, holy shit, well, do I do 5 or 30? And it's a huge difference. So there's a wide range of volumes and splits and rep ranges and exercises and preferences. So there's so many ways you could build muscle, but it really comes down to what gets you results and what makes you happy and what gives you pleasure and what makes you adhere to something. Because if there's a training split that you can't maintain long term, it's going to stress you out. You don't prefer it. I did full body for a while and then I just got tired of it. It's very exhausting. It's a very challenging way to train. And my workouts were too long and it was just too much mentally for me to keep up with. I got good results and I enjoyed it for how I did it. I might go back to it and I use it sometimes. Same thing with upper lower and push pull legs. I kind of do a blend and I really just go based on how I feel. Cause it's really, as long as it's about twice a week, I'm training each muscle part. It doesn't really matter what the split is. And generally what I have been doing the last couple years, and might be interesting to some of you, but it depends. Because, I mean, some of you might have this because it snows where you are. So if you train outside, how you train in the summer, you guys know this, how you train in the summer is going to be different than the winter if it's all wet and cold and sleet and snow and frozen. So for me, it's nice. And I mean, if sometimes there's hurricanes and it rains. So when it rains, if it's pouring, it might change what exercise I choose just because I don't want to bring out my logbook. And sometimes I'll train in the rain and I don't give a fuck. But if there's lightning, I'm not going outside with my metal tent poles and stuff and lifting on metal machines during a thunderstorm. So we have like a siren that goes off. I'm like, all right, I'm not going outside. It's not worth getting struck by lightning for gains. I've done it before. Okay. All right. I've done it before. I said, fuck it. I'm having a great workout. And yeah, but it's probably not a good idea because there's like 12 like metal, tent pikes going up. It's like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, it's rain and there's water everywhere. But I've gone outside of my Smith machine in the rain and lifting. Like, I don't care if it's wet. As long as I'm not at risk, I'm not doing squats and my feet are in water and I'm not doing anything where I could hurt myself. But I have some machines where I can do lat pull downs or things like that outside, even if it's raining. But what was I going to say? But in the summer, it's so hot. Even if I train earlier in the day, it's still 90 degrees, 92, and 70, 80% humidity, whatever it is. So honestly, like setting up workouts and setting up machines, and I take my time and I'll rest longer. So my workouts, if I do upper, lower, or full body, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's like including just kind of like resting, walking around to the other side. I'm not rushing, so I could do it in an hour or an hour and a half. But, I don't set up every machine in advance. I'm kind of going up and I'm pulling up some of the tarps and then getting into the workout and setting things up and dusting off my shoes, whatever. I train in like a dungeon. It's all dirt, and sometimes I wipe down the machines and do stuff first. But anyway, I change my splits sometimes in the summer. So I prefer something kind of like a upper lower, but push pull legs. So kind of like, in other words, spreading out and breaking up a couple things rather than doing all upper on one day, unless I'm doing lower volume and I could just do one set. But here nor there, it's less for me to think about and it's easier for me it's less time I need to spend outside and just, getting fatigued and exhausted and dehydrated if I do less volume. So if I split up push and pull rather than just doing upper, I might save myself a few sets and some time. And then I just spend shorter workouts or less volume or upper lower, and I do less volume and simplify the exercises. So keep that in mind. If you train outside or you do something in different weather, it's okay for your split and your volume and things to change. Maybe in the winter, you do more volume. You don't push as close to failure, or maybe you don't do those kinds of high intense or failure sets, or you warm up extra because your joints, you're in your garage, maybe it's not heated, so it's cold. So you can't just do maybe in the summer, you do like 1 or 2 warm up sets and you're like, all right, I'm good to go. Maybe in the winter, you have to do 3 or 4. You do some other stuff first, or you do a little bike first to get your knees and body temperature up, So you might have to change and adjust your training split based on time you have in a day. Maybe you have a shorter, something came up and you thought you had an hour and a half to lift, and now you only got 45 minutes because you have to pick up your kid somewhere, or you have to get into work early. So instead of doing a whole upper day, maybe you do less volume, you do upper, or you do push, and I'll just do pull tomorrow so you can shorten your workout. So there's different ways you can kind of call an audible and get things done and adjust. Oh, I saw some questions. Sorry, that was sitting there for a little bit. I didn't see them. Alex says, Papa Swole, is there a brand of honey you recommend if I don't know of any local raw honey? And I keep hearing that you shouldn't use a metal spoon. Is it true? And why exactly is that? I think that's a myth, the metal spoon thing. Maybe it was something with does it oxidize? Does it bind to something in the honey? Is that what the claim is? I've heard that. I think that's a myth. Any brand of honey you recommend? Weeby honey was a good one I think you can get on Amazon or at Whole Foods. That was one. But you don't have a store or something? There's no farmer's market? Where do you live by? Mike, Papa Swole, do you ever get an itch to go back to a commercial gym? I sometimes think about it just for a change of scenery, but then remember people are annoying. Haha. Do I ever get an itch? No, not. I sometimes I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have a building, to have my gym area. I've been talking about how I want to improve it and, switch to, and build something. We're planning on it. So maybe that's sooner rather than later. But no, I've been to enough commercial gyms. Maybe if anything, just to use some equipment that I don't have, but I'm really happy with what I have. I have more than I need, much more than I need. And I wouldn't say I have an itch to go back yet. I don't keep myself from doing it. I'd rather just go outside and train rather than get my stuff together, get my car and drive. I've just been training at home exclusively for a while now. And I'm so used to it. I don't want to do anything else. That's why I like having everything here. It's just so superior. But if you have a home gym, you just have a rack and you don't have access to all these other machines, yeah, it makes sense to go. But I have a commercial gym here, so so my situation is different because I have a gym outside and I don't mind the dirt and the dust and the water and the rain. I like the dungeon effect. In college, I used to train in my stepfather's basement, just deep, just dungeon training. It's fucking awesome. So it reminds me of that. So doing the workout is a fraction of the battle. There's the heat. There's the mosquitoes that I take care of. I bring a racket out there, the electric racket. So it's fun. They don't really bother me that much. But I go out there in the heat, the dirt. It's like, I go out there. It's not comfortable. It's not air conditioned and sterilized. It's anything but. I want to get it so we have like the thing that I want to build, but then we want to put the chicken coop. So I want to have like a chicken run. So when I'm lifting, I can see the chickens outside. It'd be awesome. All right, let's go into balls deep.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep.
Alex says I'm in Kansas City, so there are plenty of markets downtown, but that's a little bit out of the way. Yeah, mosquitoes can fuck all the way off. Mosquitoes can fuck all the way off. Yeah, my gym is not tourable right now. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. Maybe tomorrow. I have some of them tarped up and a bunch of the canopies ripped and stuff like that. I'm just doing Band-Aid work, putting up some little ones, and hopefully I don't have to deal with the canopies anymore, and I can just have a little structure out there. Because it's going to be a rainy season. And who knows, we're probably going to get a hurricane at some point. At some point. It's coming. It's coming. All right, let's do this. Let's get into a couple. Actually, we got to get into overtime. So let's see a couple of videos. We'll see how these go, and then we're going to get into OT.
What's in the box?
Almost forgot about OT. Let's do this one. Fat phobia at a restaurant.
Everybody, it's like midnight and I just got home from being a production assistant today. I can take these off. It's midnight and I'm inside. But I want to tell you guys something weird that happened. So I was calling a company to see how many people like one entree would feed, because this is a place that is known to have like really big portions. And so you know how you call and you're like, oh, like if I have this many people, like how much should I order? So
No, I'm stopping that. No. How much should I order? What are you talking about? Who calls in advance? How much should I order? What are you talking about? I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything else out of her mouth. Let's do another one.
What's in the box?
No patience for that. Let's go. Tighten it up. I don't hear your stories.
In popular opinion, it is never okay to compliment someone on their weight loss. If you had a strong reaction...
Okay, I'm stopping it. I'm just fucking running right... No, fuck it. No, 2 minutes is too long. It's totally okay to compliment someone on their weight loss. We've done this before. I might do that from now on. I might just be like, nah, we've done this. We're moving on. I'm not doing that one either. I don't care about fat phobia anymore. Are we good with that? Honestly, I don't think... I think I want to stop doing... We could just go back to we did balls deep. We just went back to the X-Files. We were doing X-Files for a while, just like kind of going on my feed, seeing what pops up. Some crazy shit. I don't know. I don't follow anyone on Twitter. I don't follow anyone on X. So I see some weird shit. It's usually just like Bitcoin stuff and weird memes. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done with fat phobia. I don't care. There's no such thing. Like I don't want to hear you talk for a minute and a half about internalized fat phobia. I don't fucking care. Yeah, at least today. Maybe I'll change my mind on Monday or Tuesday, and sometimes I'll humor it. But no, when I see the timestamp and I see a minute 50, no, I'm not going to hear you fucking complain about, I don't know, this made up thing to justify your obsession with being a fat fuck. I don't care. Care about your fucking feelings.
What's in the box?
Jesus Christ. It's Friday, June the 20th. It's Friday, baby. I don't give a fuck about your problems. Go to the fucking gym. Cry me a goddamn river. Cry me a fucking river.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
All right. But we do have a Pride Month video, so
What's in the box?
let's see what these faggots are up to.
We celebrated Pride Month in our kindergarten classroom by making our very own pride flags filled with attributes of things we are proud of about ourselves. First, we read some stories about the origin of the pride flag. Then we watched a video about what each of the colors of the pride flag means, like how red means life, orange means healing. Then as a class, we came together and we came up with a list of things that we are proud of about ourselves, like our names, our cultures, our languages.
Is this like the actual list? I'm proud of? These are not good things to be. I'm proud of my skin color. I'm proud of being a girl. I'm proud of being a boy. I'm proud of my spirit, my collaboration. I don't even know what that means. I'm proud of my teachers. That's a weird narcissistic grift. I don't know if this is a make-believe thing or that's a picture of like the list and people are going around the room. I don't know. But to be proud of your skin color is that's a weird thing. That's a weird thing to be proud of. I'm proud to be white. I wouldn't say I'm proud to be. Isn't that interesting? Why there's such a culture around like some of these different, I don't know. I'm so proud to be white. It's like I didn't do anything. I just became alive, and that's my melanin concentration.
Anyway. That we're really good at, and they got to pick 6 of their favorite attributes about themselves. They added into their own pride flag. They picked colors that meant something to them. Jesus Christ. We wrapped up by talking about the importance of celebrating all the things that make us who we are and celebrating the diversity in our community. Happy Pride.
So is this like a sinister way to drive this into, I mean, it is, to drive this into kids' minds. So instead of talking about gay sex and trannies, is that what we're pretending? Like, you just get to choose different things, whatever you're, like, what's your pride about? Oh, it's so welcoming. Everyone's choosing their own. So we're kind of like backstopping all of that with this rainbow shit. So when these kids get older, they just associate pride with like, oh, I'm proud of things. So it's a Trojan horse. It's just poisoning their mind. No, it's really about gay sex and sexual fetish and authoritarianism and Marxism and all those things. So fucking gross. How can the rainbow have been so destroyed? A beautiful fucking rainbow outside rainbow used to be a positive symbol. Refraction of light. It's beautiful. It's after a rain, dark sky, and a bright, vibrant rainbow. Now it just became like mutilating your genitals and gay sex. All right. All right, we're going to do overtime, but while we're here, because we went extra deep, let's do a couple throwbacks and then we'll go into OT. All right, I started the Daily Swole Telegram chat. So if you're a member, you can head on into the Daily Swole Telegram chat and be there for OT. We'll give away the Swole card. Actually, let's give away the Swole card first, and then we'll do the throwback. So hashtag Fef, Falcon, give this one away, and then we'll do those throwbacks. All right, the Fefcast. We got a winner. Get a grill. Landed right on it. Hombre de la Mort. Congratulations. Felicidades. Felicidades, hombre. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3332. In the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Felicidades. Hombrecito. Congratulations. All right, let's get into give away the Swole card. Let's get into those throwbacks. Congratulations. First throwback. Here we go.
What's in the box?
Love that soundboard. Can't get enough.
Harms everyone.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
It creates a culture where a group of people are allowed to be mistreated.
Did we do this one already?
Solely based on their appearance.
Not really.
And that mistreatment expands.
I feel like we did this one. Oh, we're doing it again.
My voice is raspy because I tried to deep throat a Twinkie.
More than just harmful words exchanged.
It's so hard to listen to people that can't, like, my God. If you're fat, everyone's acting like people hate on fat people. If you are obese, come on, you are just showing everyone that you hate yourself. You hate yourself, which is why you trash your body. But it's coping. But I had trauma. It's like, well, you're handling it really shitty. Take care of yourself, and you'll feel better about everything because you'll be a tougher, more resilient person. Yeah, I think, and here's the thing. Sometimes we do multiple videos with the same person. So I feel like we just heard that voice, but sometimes we happen to have two throwbacks and they're the same person. So I feel like we might have done that video the other day. We have another one. We didn't do this one, but either way, still ridiculous. Still
Seeing
fun.
so many plus creators pursue intentional weight loss in the name of health. And I just wanted to show you an example of a fat person not pursuing intentional weight loss, also in the name of health.
You're going to show us a fat person? Yay. Never seen one of those before.
Because here's the thing. For me, being this size is also in line with the healthiest and best I've ever treated my body.
Bullshit!
Because when I was pursuing intentional weight loss at all costs, I treated my body like actual trash.
Why?
I considered gin a food group.
I considered gin a food
God.
group.
I remember
Maybe
that.
that's why you didn't fucking lose weight, because you were
Jesus
fat as fuck.
Christ.
And calorie-wise, alcohol is 7 calories per gram. It's more than protein and carbohydrates. So you're an alcoholic. I wonder why you weren't losing weight. Oh my God. Oh, I wonder why I wasn't losing weight. I was treating gin as a food group. Gin! It was a food group? Yo, that's disgusting. My God. Back in 2016, when Sour Patch Kids was a food group for me, that's still better than gin. Oh, gross. Gross. All right, fam, it's time for OT.
Finish him!
Yes, sir. All right, head on over to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today. We'll have some Swolosophy over the weekend, and overtime starts right now in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. We'll have it up in Swole TV later in the app so you can catch it. Brand new balls deep edits and a brand new, never before seen driving while gaining. All right, let's get into it. Overtime starts in 2 minutos. It's pinned to the top of the Swole Fam Telegram chat that you are already in. And thank you for being here. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
I just wanna win on the low, like you making demands. I said, whoa.